Thank you. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us this morning. Welcome to a panel discussion to kick off the day. We're delighted to have a panel of honorable ministers and Deputy Prime Minister of discussing solutions that they have in their own countries in terms of how they are improving digital adoption and innovation in their own countries, how they see their countries benefiting and taking advantage of digital world and its opportunities, and how are the countries developing skills to ensure that they are taking advantage of the fourth industrial revolution. Now, let me introduce, I think the panel has been introduced once more. So we have Honorable Demeke Mekonnen, Deputy Prime Minister there, and we have Honorable Naledi Pandor, Minister of Science and Technology, and we have Honorable Matthew Prempeh from Minister of Education, Ghana, and we have Ernest Bibehe, Minister of Science and Technology from Cameroon. We are going to start, without wasting time, with Honorable Deputy Prime Minister Mekonnen, and the question is, what does your government do to promote the digital adoption and innovation in your country? So just to be able to give the audience a view in terms of what does the Ethiopian government do to promote digital adoption and innovation in your country. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Ministers, ladies and gentlemen. It's my privilege and absolute honor to be here on this high-level platform focusing on innovation, Africa, and addressing some pertinent issues related to information communication technology and the like. As per the raised question regarding digital economy and digital world on promotion, skill development, and the like. First, I think Africa is a rising continent today. To sustain this development and emerging economy, information communication is a very crucial tool and a crucial weapon to sustain this change and development. In my country, in Ethiopia, we have a national strategy on information communication technology and detailed mechanisms on how to promote and popularize ICT, on how to popularize digital knowledge and the like. Today, technology capability is very crucial. Technology capability means knowledge capability, effective organizational capability, and prudent service and the like. To realize this one, digital economy, digital awareness, and ICT popularization is very important and very fundamental. Based on this and based on the national policy framework, now we are trying to mainstream information communication technology and digital knowledge on different aspects on economic, social, and other areas. So, to sustain this emerging economy in Ethiopia, to sustain our double-digit growth and the like, using information communication technology, modernizing education using ICT is a very fundamental and a timely agenda. That means awareing the new generation and attitudinal change for science and technology, for ICT, and solving infrastructural problems, connectivity problems, and digital literacy. In this regard, the new generation is exposed to this, and we are trying to popularize and share this across the country, and it's one of the fundamental tools. Thank you very much.
Sir? So we can hear that communication is key, in getting the population and younger people to adopt digital strategy and adopt ICT technologies. Thank you, Deputy Minister.
You're welcome.
We're going to go to the Mozambican representative, and we're going to ask, Mozambique has also seen tremendous growth and development and record GDP growth in the past years. Can you share us strategies of supporting innovation, entrepreneurship, leveraging the digital platform in Mozambique?
Muito obrigado pela oportunidade dada ao governo de Moçambique para partilhar as iniciativas que têm implementado na área de sistemas de ciência, tecnologia e inovação e de tecnologias de informação e comunicação. O nosso governo começou a abordar de forma sistemática a utilização de tecnologias de informação e comunicação relacionado com o sistema de ciência e tecnologia desde 2000. Nessa altura foi aprovada a política de informática e a estratégia de sua implementação, que tem orientado nos últimos 17 anos os projetos e iniciativas ligadas à área de governação eletrônica, de tecnologias de informação e também ao uso de tecnologias de informação e comunicação em sistemas de inovação. Foi parte dessa implementação que o governo desenvolveu a estratégia do governo eletrônico, desenvolveu a estratégia de banda larga que está na sua fase final e começou a estabelecer um quadro legal para normar o uso das tecnologias e a sua implementação em sistemas de informação. Foi aprovada a Lei de Telecomunicações, revista a Lei de Telecomunicações, portanto, desde 2016 temos a nova Lei de Telecomunicações, que aborda as questões de convergência tecnológica e o uso da inovação neste setor em particular. E também temos a Lei de Transações Eletrônicas, que vem implementar mudanças significativas em termos de uso de tecnologias de informação e comunicação na prestação de serviços públicos e abrir espaço para a inovação. Em relação a sistemas de inovação, diz respeito, concretamente, temos o plano de estabelecimento de parques de ciência e tecnologia, que são os locais onde de eleição para que os jovens, a academia, possa realizar atividades de investigação, de incubação de empresas de base tecnológica que possam contribuir para os aspectos de desenvolvimento econômico. Temos o programa de estabelecimento de Centros Nacionais de Dados. O primeiro foi lançado em 2015, que são os locais onde o governo procura promover que conteúdo nacional e sensível seja guardado no nosso país para contrapor aos riscos e desafios associados à inovação e também à revolução tecnológica. Estes, em linhas gerais, são os aspectos que poderia, portanto, partilhar em relação às estratégias e planos, e cada um dessas estratégias tem iniciativas concretas para a sua implementação, podendo referir, por exemplo, a rede eletrônica do governo, que interliga todas as entidades do governo a nível nacional. Neste momento, nessa rede estão interligadas um pouco mais de 600 instituições, a rede de instituições de ensino superior e de investigação, o portal do governo e muitas outras iniciativas desenvolvidas ao nível de setores, a nível setorial, para a área de finanças, para a área de economia, para a área da agricultura. Portanto, há muitas iniciativas que visam a implementação de estratégias para a área, para um movimento em direção à transformação digital para atender aos desafios da economia digital. Muito obrigado.
Thank you very much. Without wasting time, I will move to Honorable Dr. Prempeh, Minister of Education, Ghana. And for you, sir, what do you see the role of education to enable the fourth industrial revolution in Ghana? So if you can give us your view in terms of how we can enable education using fourth industrial revolution technologies.
Thank you. I think education is everything. Yesterday, we were told when Tony Blair was asked his priorities, he said education, education, education. When my presidential candidate was campaigning, and they asked him what was his priority, he said education, education, education. In fact, in the fourth industrial revolution, education is the key. People have to have the knowledge and apply the knowledge. It's simple. If the people don't have the knowledge or the education, they cannot participate in the fourth industrial revolution. We need to prepare both industry and academia to be able for the citizens to participate. We need to do the audit gaps, skill gaps, to find out which areas we are lacking to fill those skills for the industry that exists, and also prepare industry and academia to be able to foretell or forecast which industries are around the corner that they want to participate. If we can do these two things, then Africa can participate in the fourth industrial revolution. We have to constantly be educating, learning, unlearning, and relearning to prepare ourselves. Because the thing about the fourth industrial revolution is that it is not linear. It is very highly disruptive and highly exponential. So even what you have advantage today might not give you the necessary advantages tomorrow. So you have to create an enabling environment where even failure is recognized as part of learning for the next, to participate in the industrial revolution, the fourth industrial revolution. So all I would say is that we must prepare the youth of our continent to adopt lifelong learning, and also understand that in this learning, you would have to unlearn, you have to relearn, and you have to constantly be on the move to be able to participate in the future.
Thank you very much, Minister. The most key points here is that people have to have knowledge to participate, and you've got to prepare the youth to continue to learn. And failure is not something that we should be adverse to. You should be able to fail and restart again, because that's the nature of the technologies and the fourth industrial revolution. So we shouldn't fear to fail. Thank you very much, Minister. Let us give the opportunity to Minister Bibehe, Minister of Secondary Education in Cameroon, and ask him about your adoption of digital adoption, as well as revolution, fourth industrial revolution. Okay.
Merci, Monsieur le modérateur, de me passer la parole. Mais avant tout, permettez-moi d'exprimer ma sincère gratitude à l'endroit du gouvernement mozambicain qui nous offre ce cadre idéal pour la tenue de ce sommet. Je voudrais également profiter de cette occasion pour remercier mes homologues, ministres de l'Éducation et du Développement urbain, le ministre des Sciences et de la Technologie, Éducation professionnelle, pour l'invitation qu'ils ont bien voulu m'adresser et pour participer à ce sommet. Je ne pourrais manquer cette occasion pour remercier et dire toute ma gratitude, ma reconnaissance à African Grants, qui ne ménage aucun effort pour booster l'émergence numérique, technologique dans les pays africains. Pour terminer, vous dire également la détermination et le renoncement du gouvernement camerounais que je représente ici, qui a bien voulu, pour montrer l'importance de cette question, dépêcher une délégation composée d'un ministre de l'Éducation, moi-même, et puis une ministre en charge de la formation professionnelle, pour vous montrer l'importance du sujet. Alors, revenons à votre question. Je voudrais dire que si cette question est préoccupante aujourd'hui, c'est pour une raison simple. Le problème à la base, c'est l'analphabétisation. Et pour répondre à ce problème qui touche la plupart des pays africains aujourd'hui, nous pensons qu'il faut développer de plus en plus l'éducation et la formation. Alors, que fait le Cameroun en la matière? Je voudrais vous dire qu'un des objectifs de développement que s'est fixé le gouvernement camerounais dans son document de stratégie de croissance et de l'emploi est de parvenir d'ici 2020 à l'utilisation généralisée des TIC par tous les citoyens où qu'ils se trouvent dans l'espace territorial. Nous pensons également que le développement de la culture numérique est une priorité majeure pour notre pays. À cet égard, des projets et initiatives multiformes ont été réalisés ou sont en cours de l'être dans toutes les zones du territoire national. Nous pouvons citer, à titre d'illustration, quelques exemples. La création des télécentres communautaires polyvalents, qui sont des infrastructures communes, dispensatrices de services variés. À ce jour, c'est environ 112 télécentres communautaires polyvalents qui sont opérationnels à travers les 10 régions que compose le Cameroun, et 90 autres sont en cours de mise en service. Ensuite, nous envisageons la connexion du Cameroun au Brésil par le câble sous-marin. Nous envisageons également le développement du réseau de fibres optiques et du réseau de télécommunications, ces deux espaces qui vont permettre à une grande majorité des citoyens, des zones surtout éloignées, d'accéder à Internet. Nous projetons la construction de 3 barrages hydroélectriques et la vulgarisation de l'utilisation de l'énergie solaire. Ainsi, il en est de même de la construction des centres multifonctionnels des jeunes dans tous les arrondissements le long des villages. Je voudrais vous rappeler ici que ces centres sont en fait des centres multimédia d'accès à Internet et d'accompagnement à la réalisation des projets. Et enfin, nous avons prévu l'extension du réseau de télécommunications 3G et 4G, d'accès à Internet et d'accompagnement à la réalisation de ces projets. Alors, l'extension du réseau de télécommunications, pour nous, effectivement, pose quelques préoccupations. Il est important de noter ici que si ces efforts sont notables aujourd'hui, il convient de dire que beaucoup de choses restent à faire encore pour le développement de la culture du numérique, surtout en zone rurale éloignée. Donc il faut donc, entre autres actions auxquelles nous avons pensé, diversifier les sources d'énergie électrique, rendre accessibles les équipements numériques à faible coût, c'est low cost, et organiser des séances de sensibilisation et d'éducation de proximité, offrir des services numériques concernant des problèmes des citoyens des zones rurales ou éloignées, et enfin développer et diffuser des ressources éducatives, fibres et endogènes. Voilà globalement ce que le Cameroun entend faire pour ces populations à l'heure qu'il est. Je vous remercie.
Thank you, Minister. We're going to go to Minister Naledi Pandor. Youth unemployment is recognized as a major challenge. Globally, it is recognized that small businesses create more employment opportunities. How does your department enable small business and encourage youth in digital transformation to promote employment and growth? Thank you, Minister.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman, and good morning to the conference delegates and my minister colleagues. We have a number of initiatives in South Africa that are directed at supporting young people to develop both digital capacity, but also to nurture their ideas in order to establish new businesses. We do this through a number of incubator hubs in the country. We have various innovation centers that young people can approach to be supported and funded in order to mature their ideas to commercial standard. We support young people in over 26 technology stations at universities throughout the country, so they're able to approach this to get support. We also have what we call a mobile laboratory, an M-Lab, that moves from area to area, supporting young people to develop their ideas. Primarily, it would be the development of applications and other services through mobile technology. So there are a range of initiatives. We have an agency, the Technology Innovation Agency, which supports youth with commercializing their innovative ideas. But I think in terms of digital access, South Africa has been very fortunate to develop appropriate infrastructure, and as my colleagues have said, to also develop the appropriate regulatory environment, because without that you cannot actually get the levels of penetration of digital technologies that you require to modernize your society. We've also taken steps to develop very close public-private partnerships, because we don't think taking advantage of the digital revolution is purely a government matter. We think affinity and collaboration with the private sector is an important part of what must be done. And beyond that, I think looking at digital development as a service to education at the basic education levels might be an error. So what we've done is we've also developed a research, development and innovation roadmap for digital technologies, where we support postgraduate students as well as universities to enhance innovation in this sector. And we think that's critically important, because if you rely purely on the available basic technologies, you won't actually have the level of both business development and technological advance that you require. So those are some of the strategies that we've adopted, and we are of course looking at investing more and more through a recent policy paper on ICT, on South Africa Connect, as we call it, to really address the spatial dimension of digital access. Because at the moment when we talk digital access, it turns to be an urban phenomenon, yes, and doesn't fully address the spatial discrimination that we have in many of our societies. Thank you very much, Chairperson.
Thank you, Minister. Honorable Deputy Prime Minister Mekonnen, Ethiopia has shown a commitment to investing in science, maths, and digital skills, with industry owning the technology. What policies do you have in place to encourage public-private partnership in the IC sector to allow technology transfer and digital skills development in Ethiopians?
Thank you. Regarding ICT development, we have a national policy and strategy. One of the pillar elements in that strategy is how to have a very prudent and functional linkage between the government and private sectors, and again to have effective infrastructure for that services and the like. Within this framework, now we developed different opportunities. For example, the ICT ecosystem in different aspects as a mainstreaming agenda on finance, on agriculture transformation, on higher education system, telemedicine, and the like. Besides this, we established a national ICT park. That ICT park is a common hub for the private innovators, for entrepreneurships development, and the functional linkage between universities and industries, government and private sectors in this regard. The important thing here, besides the infrastructure and the ecosystems, awareness creations and popularizations, that's very important. In our policy, to have that technology capability at national levels, science, engineering, mathematics, and technological capability is a very important one. The popularizations at grassroots levels, and introducing formal approach and informal approach to the public at large in this regard. Within that framework, the private sectors, the new generations, small and micro enterprise in this regard, we are trying to aware and capacitate to use this new opportunity for the new emerging revolutions on digital revolutions and related activities. At national level, that is, we have that the park and national infrastructure. Again, we are trying to push to the regional government levels to have that similar capacity and similar ownership across the country. That is one of the pillar strategy at national levels to sustain that transformations and related changes. Thank you very much.
Thank you. So initiatives at national level and at local level, so driving to do something at the local level or regional level. Thank you, Deputy Minister. Okay. Let's move to the Mozambican representative and say last year in identify the importance of vocational education to deliver sustainable development, you launched a national fund for financing skills. Can you give us an update in the level of funding achieved so far?
Muito obrigado. O governo de Moçambique identificou a área de ensino de educação profissional como uma das áreas fundamentais para o processo de desenvolvimento social e econômico do nosso país e também parte do processo de transformação digital. As atividades que foram realizadas, que criaram as condições para o estabelecimento do fundo, primeiro foi a revisão de uma lei e a aprovação da lei específica de educação profissional, e essa lei incluía o estabelecimento de instituições e de mecanismos que pudessem apoiar o desenvolvimento e o financiamento do sistema de educação profissional no nosso país. Foi por isso que foi estabelecida uma nova entidade, que é a Autoridade Nacional de Educação Técnico Profissional, que é a instituição que tem, é a autoridade, portanto, que tem a função de regulamentar e estabelecer os padrões de qualidade do ensino e de competências que orientam o processo de educação profissional, portanto, no nosso país, que é a nova forma que tem aspectos de mudança de paradigma na forma como vinha sendo tratada a questão de educação técnico-profissional. Como fazia referência, portanto, uma das instituições estabelecidas é o Fundo de Educação Técnico-Profissional. Este fundo prevê com participação do setor privado no financiamento da educação técnico-profissional, porque os quadros formados neste sistema são atores ativos no processo de desenvolvimento industrial. E a lei estabelece que as empresas devem contribuir com 0,65% da folha de salário das empresas. E esta dedução não inclui dedução do salário dos trabalhadores das empresas privadas. É da folha, é uma referência da dedução da folha de salário das empresas que contribuem para o fundo, e este fundo vai ser usado para o financiamento de todos os desafios relativos à infraestrutura, ao desenvolvimento do capital humano, para catapultar o desenvolvimento do sistema de educação técnico-profissional no nosso país. A pergunta coloca em relação ao fundo. O fundo é recente, a lei foi aprovada o ano passado, este ano foi aprovado o fundo. Estamos a trabalhar no estabelecimento de mecanismos de recolha e sistematização desse fundo para a posterior aplicação. Queremos acreditar que em eventos futuros estaremos em condições de partilhar os níveis de coleta e o grau de utilização desse fundo no processo de desenvolvimento da educação profissional no nosso país. Muito obrigado.
Amen. Thank you very much. You can see the importance of vocational education in economic growth. We're going to move and ask Minister Dr. Prempeh from Ghana to take us through the following. Can you provide us with an update on the progress of the free senior high school policy, your flagship education program, the government seeking to increase access to secondary education?
Thank you. Our constitution dictates that government should, as far as possible, provide free levels of education, free education at different levels. So in 2002, we started with a free compulsory universal basic education, and at the same time introduced a 2-year KG from the year 4 and 5 as part of our basic education. So our basic education became 2 years KG, 6 years primary, and 3 years junior high school. My party, since 2008, decided that to really improve on industrialization, participation of citizenry in the economy, there's a need to move free education from the basic schools and include the secondary schools. Then in 2015, we all agreed on the SDG 4.1, quality, equity, accessible, even including technical and vocational education, and made a right to secondary education by 2030 one of the goals. So in 2016, then my party won the election on the level of free secondary education with a major campaign platform. I was given the portfolio basically to make sure we implement it. Hitherto, the statistics was such that every year, from those who pass the BEC exam, that's the Basic Education in Secondary School, 100,000 kids who pass and are placed are not able to afford. We believe the key thing was affordability, financial affordability. So we decided to plug it on and get going. Fortunately, with hard work and a good team, this September we started free secondary education in Ghana. Interestingly, the statistics that we are still gathering and getting is that we have been able to move access from 64%, 65% to about 94% this year. So that is where we are. That in itself is bringing some challenges as to physical, classrooms and desks and things. But that is life. I think we will get ahead and plug on and solve these issues as they come along. It's better for a child to be in a classroom than because of chair to stay at home or because of financial access to stay at home. So we believe we've removed the financial barrier. We are plugging ahead to solve those problems that are coming because of access. But that's where we are. We are not turning back. Very soon, we would launch our integration of technical and vocational education into the Ministry of Education as well, and provide a huge opportunity and access at that level within the next few months.
Thank you, Minister. I think it's honorable and great progress to see a country move and get access to secondary education for free, and we moved from 64 to over 90% access to children. Thank you and well done on your policy. Let us move to Minister Pandor and ask you about your department budget in 2016-17 was the same as the previous year. Is South Africa investing enough in science and technology innovation to ensure that there is capacity and knowledge resources to support the demand of the regional world? Okay.
Thank you very much, Chairperson. There is no African country that currently invests enough in science and technology. And that is a problem for our continent that we need to address and take very seriously. Several years ago, African countries committed that they would invest at least 1% of GDP in science, technology, and innovation. Thus far, none of us have reached that level. And this is an indictment on our governments and on our private sector because we are all at fault. So certainly our budget is not sufficient to address all the ambitions that we have, but I believe the maintenance of funding for research, development, and innovation, which our government has done, is an important affirmation of the need to utilize research, development, and innovation to achieve our broad economic goals. So we've been able to maintain our science agencies. We are able to fund masters and PhD students. We have science councils that support our research endeavor. So in that regard, we have resources available, but as always, we would want much more if we are to reach global levels of success in research, development, and innovation. But this is not just a challenge for South Africa, it's a challenge for the entire African continent. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Minister. There is a need for Africa to improve and invest more on research and science and technology. So thank you, Minister, for the your contribution. I'm going to ask Minister Bibehe to just tell us about your department has been undergoing reform with over 4,000 of secondary education employees being redeployed. What more can you do working in partnership with industry partners to deliver in your priorities? That's for Cameroon.
Oui, merci beaucoup. Alors, vous venez de mettre le doigt sur un problème particulier que nous avons mis en place depuis cette année au Cameroun. Alors, ce processus de réforme de l'enseignement secondaire que nous avons dénommé, à juste titre, enseignement secondaire de seconde génération, est l'une des préoccupations majeures qui vise à assurer la qualité du système. Nous pensions que pour assurer la qualité du système, celle-ci suppose, entre autres, les composantes à garantir la pertinence, l'efficacité et l'efficience de ce système. C'est donc notre volonté et un engagement pour l'amélioration de la répartition des enseignants et l'équité, surtout l'équité de ce système qui nous ont conduits au redéploiement de 4000 enseignants que vous évoquiez tantôt. Alors, s'agissant des partenariats possibles avec les industriels et surtout dans la perspective de réforme de l'enseignement secondaire au Cameroun, je peux vous assurer que ma seule venue ici, ma présence ici au Mozambique pour la deuxième fois à ce sommet, veut vous montrer notre volonté de créer des partenariats pouvant faciliter la réalisation de nos priorités. On vous a dit tout à l'heure, les investissements sont colossaux, ils sont très importants. Alors, parmi les partenariats que nous recherchons en la matière, on peut citer, bien sûr, sans être exhaustif, ceux avec tous les industriels pouvant, à court ou à moyen terme, contribuer à la réalisation des projets. Nous avons identifié quelques-uns de ces projets que je voudrais avec plaisir vous lister comme ça. En premier, nous envisageons qu'à terme, à moyen terme, qu'on ait un enseignant, aboutisse à un enseignant, un ordinateur. Un établissement, une salle multimédia. Un élève, un cartable numérique. Une leçon, une banque de ressources multimédia. Un service, un e-service accessible à tous. Une profession ou une fonction et une e-formation continue au numérique. Nous envisageons aussi la création des lycées professionnels numériques, un système numérique de gestion et de pilotage de l'enseignement secondaire, un système numérique de gestion de performance et de qualité, des dispositifs de formation initiale ou continue aux usagers, aux usagers du numérique et en éducation, des dispositifs de formation à la production des ressources éducatives libres, suivant le plan d'action de l'UNESCO élaboré en Slovénie en 2017, et enfin le déploiement de la filière technologie de l'information. Nous pensons que si ces quelques éléments sont pris en charge et surtout bien intégrés, nous pourrons très rapidement arriver à une couverture optimale et spatiale. Merci.
Thank you very much, Minister. We're going to go to the last question and ask Honorable Deputy Prime Minister Mekonnen on earlier this year, the World Bank confirmed that it will provide 4.9 billion of multi-sectoral investment in the Ethiopian economy. This includes women entrepreneurship project. Is this part of your strategy your government has to maximize the potential of 50% of your workforce to deliver fourth industrial revolution? Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Yeah, sure. This year, our major development partners, the World Bank, committed that budget. In addition to our government capacity and the people of Ethiopia, World Bank is one of our major partners. Perhaps when we look our education system in terms of budgeting and the like, it's very expensive and a capital-intensive project. Today, we're managing nearly 28 million students at school from primary level to tertiary level. You can imagine. This is 1/3 of the total population of Ethiopia. So to assure quality, access, and the other important elements of education, it needs huge capital, huge investment, and the like. Every year, we allocate 27% of our annual budget to education system. And the GDP share is around 4.5%. Beyond this, the World Bank and other partners' development, like DFID, UK government and other partners, they are playing their crucial role in our system. Yeah, this 4.9 billion is very important resource, and we have clear priority on around poverty-oriented sector areas on education, health, agriculture, and others. That means addressing the productive labor force and the poor of the poor from the given society to transform them using education and other weapons here. For this, especially women's empowerment here, women's empowerment on economy, women's empowerment on politics, women's empowerment on social and other related matters, that's very important one. Addressing the youth, the issue of employability, and youth, women's benefit here. Together, that is nearly more than 50% of the people are the beneficiary of these resources, and government is very much committed to realize this for sustainable development and transformation. Thank you.
Thank you, Deputy Minister. 28 million students, 27% of education, budget go to education, women empowerment, youth empowerment prioritized. Thank you very much. We're going to move to Mozambican representative, and can you explain the investment you make in developing your national research and education network and its contribution to economic growth?
Thank you very much for this question. The Mozambique Research and Education Network is one of the projects of the ICT implementation strategy that I've mentioned before. The government of Mozambique has defined this project to be a technological platform that will interconnect all tertiary education institutions in Mozambique, research institutions, and last year the mandate of this network has been extended to cover technical and vocational training institutions. The overall population of higher education technical institutions in Mozambique, we're estimating around 400,000 students. This is the population that we're expecting to serve, and this is the population that we believe that in the coming years will be contributing to economic and social development in many areas like agriculture, health, tourism, infrastructure. That are the areas that have been defined as priority by the government of Mozambique. Because of this understanding, the government is funding the implementation of this network through the government budget and the support of development partners. The main institution that was supporting the implementation was through a funding credit from the World Bank that were able to purchase capacity, equipment, contract specialized technical personnel, and also start the deployment of the network. Today, this network covers 109 institutions nationwide, and is being used to serve, support the transformational change in the education in the higher education institution and research of our country.
One more question.
We believe that if this platform is well used, it will have a positive impact on the change that we're expecting in this area. Due to the financial difficulties that the government is facing, the ministry was challenged to review the model and see how other stakeholders would contribute and participate in the deployment of this network, because it's an expensive exercise financial-wise. And the proposal that the beneficiary institution from their own budget, and here we're including private sector institutions, the tertiary level, and also other entities related to technical and vocational training, would contribute by paying a fee for the services. We're happy that the leadership of all these institutions have agreed, and they started this year paying the fees in order to support the sustainability of the network and allow that we can extend the services based on this network to all the entities that are part of our ecosystem of science, technology, and innovation in our country. Thank you very much.
Thank you. 400,000 students in the National Research Network, a public-private network, and encouraging more and more private companies to participate to help the government to implement the program. Thank you, Minister. And then what we're going to do is that we're going to move to the last question. I think I'm going to move to Minister Pandor, and we're going to just ask the following, that your department drive the square kilometer array, hydrogen fuel technology, titanium metal powder project, SA National Space Agency. How do you ensure that you got the requisite skill for all these initiatives?
Question. The square kilometer array is an African project with South Africa as a leader. We have 8 other African countries, including my colleague from Ghana sitting next to me here, where we had the most recent launch of a radio observatory facility, which we built along with the government of Ghana. So the SKA is an extremely important initiative for our continent, because it will be the first time that Africa hosts global research infrastructure of that kind. So it's putting us really on the world map in terms of research infrastructure. With respect to all the initiatives you mentioned, and every initiative in my department, all our programs have a human capacity development component to them. So we never invest in any initiative without putting aside funding for honors, masters, and PhD, and postdoc. So we are very clear that we must create the human capacity that will advance research and innovation in our country. So all those entities you referred to have to provide scholarship support to young people so that we have the requisite skills. And we don't only fund university education, we also fund young people in technical and vocational skills, because the maintenance of research infrastructure requires technologists and technicians. So we invest in young people at the technical and vocational level, as well as that high-end skill of honors, masters, and PhD. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Minister. Minister Bibehe, what scale of investment is still needed to ensure teachers are trained and accredited in technology in Cameroon?
Merci, monsieur le modérateur. Alors, ce que je voudrais vous dire ici, c'est qu'au niveau des enseignements secondaires, les besoins en termes d'investissement sont chiffrés environ à 70 000 appareils. Nous pensons que pour les investissements nécessaires à la formation et à la qualification des enseignants en matière de nouvelles technologies, il faudrait que nous passions en revue un certain nombre d'éléments. Nous avons identifié environ 5. Ces 5 que nous avons identifiés passent par d'abord la facilitation dans l'acquisition des équipements numériques pour les enseignants. Nous pensons également qu'il serait bon la mise en place d'un dispositif de formation continue des enseignants et autres maillons de la chaîne de supervision pédagogique et administrative. Une fois cette mise en place du dispositif mise en place, nous pensons également que la mise en place d'un dispositif de production des ressources éducatives aura également sa place en pareilles circonstances. La formation des formateurs et des responsables des projets numériques est un volet également indispensable. Je vous ai dit tout à l'heure qu'en termes d'investissement, ils sont très lourds. Et enfin, la promotion et le renforcement des capacités des enseignants aux usages professionnels et numériques n'est pas en reste. Donc nous pensons que ce dispositif, on arrive à le mettre en place, on aura quand même à aborder avec un peu plus de sérénité la forte ampleur des investissements encore nécessaires pour la formation et la qualification des enseignants. Maintenant, je voudrais, peut-être que l'occasion ne me sera pas donnée tout à l'heure, pour conclure, dire peut-être toute ma reconnaissance. Remercie une fois de plus les organisateurs de ce sommet et aux modérateurs ici présents de cette table ronde, ainsi que tous les participants à cette table ronde. Je souhaiterais dire en conclusion que le Cameroun a un énorme potentiel pour réaliser son engagement de devenir un pays émergent à l'horizon 2035. C'est un peu un objectif que le Cameroun s'est fixé. Cependant, je puis également vous dire qu'il a besoin des partenaires internationaux multiformes pour réaliser des projets éducatifs et de développement de l'économie numérique. L'occasion m'est donc aussi donnée pour vous dire à tous ici présents que nous restons disposés à mettre en place des partenariats pertinents dans différents secteurs de l'éducation et du numérique de l'économie. Voilà ce que j'avais à dire. Je vous remercie une fois de plus.
Thank you, Minister. Moving to Honorable Minister Dr. Prempeh, I'm going to ask you, how do you see Ghana benefiting and taking advantage of the digital world and its opportunities?
I think the future economy is a digital economy. And for Ghana to participate, we must prepare the future generation and the current generation to participate in. There are a lot of initiatives already ongoing in the country, like the e-government platform, where all government services, parliament, executive, judiciary, local government, agencies like passport, everything is plugged onto. We have a national technology assessment center that hosts the national data center. We have the laws and the regulations governing all these things. But what we need to do is to mainstream it into education and training such that both the current workforce can participate in the ever-changing skills needed for employment and the future generation. So we in education have started different projects, but all in line towards making digital literacy part of functional literacy. What I mean is that you cannot have digital literate citizenry who are not functional literate already. So even though we have got our free compulsory universal basic education and free secondary education that's just started, we want to integrate digital literacy from primary school. So we are now having a big curricular reform process with a view of not only consolidating the gains in foundational courses for life, like reading, writing, arithmetic, but we are also talking about creativity, whether it's starting coding as early as possible. We have benefited from an IBM program in Ghana introducing coding, and we have benefited from the Finnish government project that started a code bus in the country. So in the area of STEM in education, for primary and basic schools, we want to introduce coding. We want to do STEM centers where, for the fun of making science, maths, technology popular, we have 10 regional STEM centers where primary and junior high school students can go on excursion to get themselves immersed in what we mean by science or technology or engineering or mathematics. We also just last week got approval for a Category 2 institute in Ghana under African Institute of Mathematical Sciences. And this will be the pinnacle of our STEM policy integrated into the country's educational policy. They will be training the PhDs, the masters, and the honor students who would then go and teach STEM in the secondary schools and also popularize the teaching of mathematics and science in the basic schools. Coding, we are starting this year. We've selected 20 secondary schools that will start coding. We want to make ICT part of the curricula from primary, junior high school, and senior high school. Not only part of the curricula, we want to have certification along the line, such that if a child finishes secondary school and has got a Microsoft Office certification, he can go into the employment industry. If he's got coding, he can start software application, not necessarily finish tertiary education before he starts earning money or becoming relevant to society. So I think our program in ICT and STEM, in technical and vocational, is to make the citizenry adaptable and flexible so that you can move out of education and pursue work as early as possible and earn something for you and your family, as well as stay in education or come back to education and continue if you so desire.
Thank you, Minister. Integrating digital literacy programming from basic education, introduce STEM centers, and introduce coding at an early age. I think these are profound things that we see as best practice that can be done. And thank you very much for your exemplary leadership, Minister, in Ghana. Thank you. I'm going to just give Honorable Mekonnen, Deputy Prime Minister Mekonnen, just last 1 minute to say a few words, and just if there's any other contribution you would like to make, and then also Naledi Pandor, last contribution, and our Mozambican host. Thank you. 1 minute.
Thank you very much again. Today, the digital knowledge, digital economy under the global system is the inevitable phenomenon. To cope up with this new landscape and the new phenomena, we have to prepare our new generations and our people to have that capacity, productive capability, and competitiveness in this regard. If we focus on this digital knowledge and knowledge transfer, Africa will sustain and will break this vicious backwardness and poverty problems. In this regard, let's come together and let's have that capacity and let's influence the globe. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Minister. Minister Pandor.
Thank you very much, Chairperson. Firstly, I think we must always be realistic because sometimes we become very excited about new developments and then we don't plan effectively to ensure that they address the core challenges that we're confronted with. So I think we must recognize the opportunities, but also be aware of the challenges. And for me, the government's role is to ensure that we have the appropriate infrastructure and regulatory frameworks to allow this area of development to thrive. And so my belief is that one of the things we must do very well is to build working partnerships with the private sector, because the private sector has the resources, we have the policy, the infrastructure role, and we should be able to provide the human capital that will take up the opportunities. So we must just make sure that we focus on the correct interventions and be careful of the fourth industrial revolution becoming popular rhetoric and inadequate implementation, because we grab onto rhetoric and we forget that it's really hard work that gives you results. So I think get all the tools in place and make sure that digitalization works for our continent.
Thank you, Minister. Honorable host, Minister, there can have the last word.
Mais uma vez, muito obrigado por essa oportunidade e pelo tempo dado para contribuirmos com as nossas ideias e visões sobre o futuro da economia digital. Terei pouco a acrescentar depois da intervenção dos dirigentes que tenho o privilégio e a honra de partilhar o painel hoje, mas gostaria de referir que para Moçambique, para os desafios da economia digital, é importante, como dizia a Sua Excelência Ministra Pandor, a componente regulamentar e legislativa para o estabelecimento de um quadro legal propício e que encoraje a participação de todos os setores na economia digital. O segundo aspecto é a infraestrutura. Se não trabalharmos para assegurar que a maior parte da população dos países africanos tem acesso às redes digitais, iremos falhar nas promessas e a nossa participação na na revolução digital. O terceiro é o do capital humano, que é o tema desta conferência. É fundamental dedicarmos o melhor do nosso esforço e dos nossos recursos para dar oportunidade aos jovens para formar, mas também para criar empresas baseadas em África para que tenham contribuição no espaço digital internacional. Porque, caso contrário, iremos ser consumidores de produtos e serviços desenvolvidos por entidades e empresas de outras partes do mundo. O último, mas não menos importante, é a componente de investimento. A maior parte dos países africanos tem desafios para a componente de investimento. Teremos que ser criativos e inovadores, encontrar formas para podermos responder à necessidade de investimento necessária para a revolução digital. Mas também não iria terminar a dizer que, sem dizer que a economia digital ou a revolução digital é baseada em redes. Será importante a colaboração entre os países africanos para complementarmos e explorarmos sinergias que podemos contribuir porque sozinhos não iremos muito longe, mas África, como todos juntos, explorando sinergia e capacidade dos outros países, podemos, portanto, ter oportunidade de sucesso e abordarmos os desafios que existem na economia digital, de segurança, de limite, de jurisdição dos sistemas digitais, que são aspectos sérios que teremos que tomar em consideração, portanto, no futuro imediato que nos espera da revolução, portanto, tecnológica. Muito obrigado.
Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, we've come to the end of our panel discussion. I think we can all see that there's some best practice we can learn from fellow countrymen here and fellow from different countries. And I would like to thank our distinguished panel for their responses and their insight. It was very informative and insightful. Thank you for your contribution and participation. On that note, I would like us to play just a video to close the session, and we thank everyone for the
This is my home. Home to 200 million young, eager minds that could turn our home, our Africa, into a bustling, healthy economy, where everyday tasks are made easier through technology, where we feel empowered to tackle obstacles and solve them with innovative answers. But there are two challenges that are becoming more evident as the years go by.
The Digital Nation Africa program has been built to address two major pain points in Africa. The first is the lack of digital literacy skills, mainly because of infrastructure challenges and an early age labor force. The second is a high unemployment rate, mainly because of the lack of skills in high demand, which is a major bottleneck for growth.
They said that with challenges come opportunities. Digital Nation Africa, or DNA, is a program that will enable Africans to ride the digital wave. DNA aims to provide free online learning for more than 25 million young Africans over the course of 5 years. So, even if you have never used a computer or already know how to use technology to solve problems, or simply want to gain in demand skills, DNA is open to people of all levels. Digital literacy provides the tools and knowledge to create a strong foundation for economic growth and success. Having these skills give us the ability to go after our dreams and the freedom to keep dreaming big. With a partnership with UNDP, the delivery of STEM skills, certification, and accreditation will be extended throughout Africa. IBM has known Africa since the 1920s. In 24 countries, IBM has been collaborating with various educational institutions, helping with the creation of transformational solutions. Being here for almost 100 years, IBM has seen the obstacles that African youth face, but they also see the potential. By 2040, Africa will be home to the largest labor force in the world. Imagine 1 billion young Africans, all digital literate, leading the growth of Africa.
Now is the time to start pushing Africa further into the digital world.
Thank you. Thank you, Your Excellencies, for that lovely panel. And thank you, Hamilton and IBM, as our main event partners, for opening the main event this morning. Thank you very much. We're going to move straight on to discussing innovation in higher education. And I'd like to welcome to the panel